Alright, so in this video I will show you how you can control your renders when your rendering is done, how you can add all sort of elements like smoke element, dust element, whatever you can imagine. You can add everything after your renders, so you don't have to be mess around with the explosions, timing or anything like that in the 3D software. So it doesn't matter, it was not just about Unreal Engine. You can use anything like Blender renders or Maya renders, Houdini renders, anything. And that is called deep compositing. And with the help of deep compositing, you can merge your 2D elements with your 3D backgrounds very easily. Two problems that you're going to face while doing deep compositing. The first one is the file size of the deep files is like crazy high. So a normal EXR file is like 1 MB and the deep file is around 100 MB. It is like 100 times more, and that is crazy. So if you have a 100 frame render, it will be around 1 GB to 2 GB around. So that's the file size of a deep file, and it's like really hardware expensive. So you really need a lot of storage in order to store those type of data. The second problem is Blender and Unreal Engine does not support deep. You cannot render deep output with Blender and Unreal, and that's the other problem that you're gonna face. So the solution that I will show you to integrate your 2D elements with your 3D render is called depth compositing. And now you will think about what is depth compositing. Basically, it is kind of a smaller brother of the deep compositing, or sister, you can say anything. The file size of a depth pass is like 2 MB, and the deep one was like 100 MB that I already told you. So it's a kind of a drastic difference between the deep and depth pass, but the 95% of the things you can do with the help of depth pass, except the 5%. And that is, I will tell you later in the video, that what you cannot do in depth compositing and what you can do with the help of deep compositing. So just for the demonstration purpose, I will show you this render. So you can see this render. This is a Blender render that you can see on my screen. And if I just play this thing, you can see there is no explosion and anything in this one. But in the final render, you will see all sort of explosion and sparks and everything coming out from this corners. And I did that thing with the help of depth compositing, and I will show you exactly how you can do that. But before starting anything, I'm using Nuke, and if you're using Nuke, you're lucky, because I'm going to show you the step-by-step thing, how you can do the proper depth compositing and all the tools and everything I will show you. And if you're using some sort of other softwares like DaVinci Resolve Fusion or After Effects, then you have to find out by yourself. But you will learn a lot of things even if you're using After Effects or DaVinci Resolve, because the method are kind of similar, but the tools are different. That's the basic, basically that's the main difference. Okay, so let me show you how to do that depth compositing. So you can see this is a layer for the sparks inside building thing. The spelling is wrong, I know. So if I just enable this, you can see there I'm adding the sparks inside my building thing. And if you try to do this thing like traditional way, like the rotoscoping, you have to rotoscope all the elements, this individual element separately, and then you can merge it backwards like this. And it is kind of a really, like, you will kill yourself while doing that rotoscoping in this type of complex destruction scene. So there is another solution that is called Cryptomatte. So basically your 3D render will give you Cryptomats, and you can easily select all these pieces and everything, but that's also complicated to do. The easy way is depth compositing, and what you have to do, you have to render the depth pass from your 3D software. I'm using Blender, so in order to get the depth pass, you just have to enable one setting, and that is, if you make sure that you are in the cycles, and if you go to this button, you have to just enable this depth pass, this button, and you will automatically render all the depth pass in your 3D renders. But make sure that you use EXR file format, this multi-layer EXR, and make sure this is DWAP. For better understanding of this thing, you can watch this video, and we will continue working on this thing. So after rendering the depth pass, and yeah, another thing, if you want to know how to render depth pass from Unreal, then you have to watch this video. So basically Unreal and Blender both support depth pass rendering, so you can render the depth pass easily without having any kind of issues. So first of all, what you have to do is you have to take all your elements. So these are so if you can see, these are my sparks elements. These are the kind of 2D images that I got from internet free websites like FreePic and all those things, Pixabay and this type of websites. Just go and download this type of anything. It doesn't matter. You can download anything, Explosion and all those things. I will also show the Explosion one, but for now you can just see the sparks. So these are the sparks. Basically they are the same spark. I just do some time shift in the everything, and after merging all of the sparks, it looks something like this. So we have this multiple level of sparks. Then I just did the time shift there, you can see. So you don't have to do this type of stuff if you have different type of elements. But the main thing is this one, P-card snap. You don't have to use this P-card snap, and you have to add this camera, your 3D camera. So in Blender, you will have a camera. You just have to export it, and then you have to import in the Nuke. With the help of P-card, basically what it does is it will put that thing in your card. So basically what I'm doing is I'm putting the image that I got from free websites into this card, and I'm placing that thing in my 3D scene. So if you see this, I'm putting this card in this area, in the corner area where I want my sparks to come from. This is my main render. I just put these sparks in this place. And the fun part is, because you are using your 3D camera, it will automatically track everything for you. So you don't have to do anything. And that's the fun fact. So I just add some AP glow just to add this type of glow effect. And then I just merge on top of this thing. So now you can see it is inside. If I just put that thing on top of my render, it will look something like this. You can see this is now kind of integrated. It's just a overlap thing. You're just putting your image on top of your main render. That's it. It is not integrated properly with the render. So in order to integrate it within the kind of the debris and everything in this area, what you have to use this node. This is called P-ramp. And in the P-ramp, if you select your depth pass, so the render that you got from your Blender or Unreal, you have to just select your depth pass there. I have this depth pass. And if I just click on this one, you will see nothing. If I press A, you will see something like this. So if I reduce or increase the intensity of this, right now it is not that much working, but yeah, I will just show you there. So you will see two options, start and end. If I decrease this, you will see I'm getting white image, and I'm kind of moving in the 3D space. You can see there. You will get all the kind of data from your depth pass, and you can place specific thing in a specific area. So if I want to put my sparks in back of this big building and this center one, I can also do that. So you just have to make sure that your area is black, and the black area will be kind of hold out, and the white area, it will only show the sparks in the white areas. So in this black area, the spark will not be visible, and in the white area, it will be visible. So you just have to use this P-ramp node, and you have to just play with the start and end value, and you can properly control your depth of your scene. I'll just redo everything. So after that, you just have to use a reformat because I'm working on 1080p resolution. So, and then you just have to merge on top of everything. So, all right, this is blown up. So now this is inside the render. So if I just disable this, okay, it will not gonna work like this. So right now this is on top of your main render, and if I just simply connect this, it will go inside your render like this. You will see. If I just turn off and on, it is inside your debris and everything. So this is the most easiest way I found to put your sparks, your explosion and everything within your scene with the help of depth pass. And this is the most efficient in terms of storage, performance and everything compared to the deep pass. Basically deep pass also do the same thing. It will allow you to put the explosions and everything inside of something. So that's the thing. But there is one issue with the depth pass that you cannot do in depth pass compared to the deep one. So for example, if you have explosion and you want to add some sort of debris and everything inside the explosion, you cannot do that thing with the help of depth pass, and that's the limitation, because depth pass cannot render with volumetrics, any kind of VDB thing. But deep can render the volumetrics, and that's why most of the people will use deep compositing with the smoke elements, VDBs and those things, if you want to integrate something inside smoke. But if you want to integrate something like this case, I want to integrate my sparks explosion inside the building. we can definitely use the depth pass, and it is the most convenient and the efficient way to work also. And you can do all sort of stuff with the depth pass compositing. For example, I will just show you, we have some more elements. So this is, I think, more sparks element in this area, you can see in the top area, both side. And with the same method and same thing, I add all those things like in the sparks also. So if I'm not using the mask, the depth compositing one, then it will be like kind of on top of everything. But when I use this, it will kind of integrate properly. Then I think this one is the falling kind of sparkles things you can see there. So I just add everything. This sparks, it is kind of integrated within the debris and everything. So this is the explosion inside the stuff. So maybe I can go to some, yeah, you can see there. This is the explosion. And if I remove the depth pass, you will see it is kind of on top of your building. Yeah, you will see some sort of issues in the edges, but actually there is no object there. It is kind of a pure black thing. That's why it is creating that type of issue, but it's not a big deal. With this much distance, you won't be able to see anything. Yeah, like this, I did all the sparks and all the explosion thing. The advantage is also you don't have to be messing around with the timing and everything on the 3D renders. So if you're using Unreal Engine, it is kind of a real-time engine, and it will be convenient to do that type of stuff in Unreal. But when you are using Blender, it is very kind of hard to track all these things because Cycles is not a real-time kind of engine. You cannot view everything in real time, so you have to re-render everything so many times, and it will kind of a waste of time. So instead of focusing on Blender, you can do all those things in compositing. And if you have any kind of doubt or anything like that, let me know in the comment. I will try to solve that issues. And that's it for this video. I think this will help you. Thank you for watching.